So the number one reason why your agency will fail is churn. And in this video, I want to give you 9 ways to fix it. If you do 3 of these 9 things, you will fix your churn. But if you're not doing any of these things, your agency will probably fail. It will probably dwindle because clients do churn and you can reduce the chances of that happening by doing these things. So let's just get right into it. Let's not waste any time. So with SEO in particular, it's a long game. You know, you could sign on a client and they might not see results for a long time. So it might look something like this. So this is, say, month 0 and this is month 12. They might be waiting like 8 or 9 months before they see any kind of results or any ROI. So the idea is with this point to show some quick wins within the first 30 days. Like you can do that with, in SEO in particular, you can do that with low competition keywords. You could do that with looking at what pages are ranking on page 2 for some high ROI keywords, for some relevant keywords, push them up, maybe do some optimization, maybe a little bit of link building, show some quick wins in the first 30 days. Maybe it's adding some content they're missing on the website, do a content gap analysis and see what pages they can rank very quickly. So then if you're kind of showing some wins here and here and here, this will stop the churn. This will stop, well, for the most part, will stop people from thinking, you know, what's going on? I don't trust SEO or I don't trust PPC or whatever it is you're doing for the client. So yeah, this is a really important one. Make sure you have a plan to show some wins within the first 30 days. It's called time to value. So if you reduce the time to value, you'll reduce your churn as well. So the second one is make it personal. So in the first few months or the first 30 days, again, it's essential to build that rapport, build up a personal relationship with the client. And you don't have to be jumping on calls all the time. You can use Looms, you can get in their Slack, or you can use Google Hangouts, send memes, send funny jokes or whatever. Just build this personal relationship. Don't be like this cold agency who is only there to kind of take their money and, you know, not even show results. I mean, these first few months are going to be, like I said in the last point, quite slow in terms of results, especially in SEO. So building this connection and building this trust is essential. So yeah, definitely do this one. Make it personal and get some FaceTime in there, get some Looms in there. Don't just be a cold agency, you know, who's all about taking the invoice and that's it, never speaking to them. And this kind of ties in a little bit, but reporting. I see a lot of agencies who are like signed up to a software and they just do an automated report to their client, and then they wonder why their client just churns because they've got no personal relationship. The reports are so cold and they're just like, there's no human element to it. So if you do have a report that's kind of automated, that kind of exports a load of data and numbers, do a Loom over it, and you need to be saying, here's what happened, here's what's next, and here's how we got it under control. If you do a live call, great. A lot of business owners, in my experience, they don't want to do these calls all the time. Maybe the first couple could be great on a live call, but if you do it over Loom and you're just talking over the points, that's good enough. Like, and that builds that relationship. It makes the report more engaging, and it kind of makes it more trustable that you're not just automating a report. And if stuff has gone wrong, which sometimes happens in SEO or even paid or whatever you're doing for the client, tell them like how you've messed up, what are you going to do to fix it, and how it's going to be fixed next month. Like, don't try and hide it. Business owners are a lot more clever than you like to think, especially with SEO and stuff. They do their own research. They speak to other people. They speak to other SEO experts or paid experts. They're going to find out if you've messed up, and it's going to be a lot more hurtful to them if you've hid it from them. So yeah, always own up and be the first one to tell them if you have. This is a bit of a strategy one. If you're in SEO or you're in something that's got a bit of a latency for results, think about quarterly billing. So this does make it a little bit more expensive for your clients, particularly if you kind of high ticket. retainers. But instead of bidding like £2,000 or $2,000 every month, consider billing $6,000 every quarter. The reason for this is basically SEO is a slow burn. It takes a while before the results come in. So if you're billing every month, the cadence of that billing doesn't match the cadence of the results. So billing to quarterly aligns with the natural rhythm of SEO. It's hard to do. You need a special kind of client and a special kind of offer. But if you've got kind of a low ticket retainer, this is more possible. Around the 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 mark, you could switch to quarterly billing. You could give them a discount if they go quarterly billing, if you want to give them the option. But quarterly billing churns 50% less than monthly. And in SEO, it just aligns with the natural rhythm of it. So something to consider. It's not essential, but you can definitely take a look at that. Now, this is one that you could consider if you have the ability to do this. Again, not essential, but if you're working with a client and maybe you're doing just link building for that client, or maybe you're just doing just paid ads or whatever, if there's stuff outside of the scope of work that you can do to help you get better results, maybe their website is slow and you've got a tech team that can help that. Maybe they need better copy on their page, their landing page. Maybe they need a slightly better design. Maybe they need ad creatives. Maybe they need internal linking that isn't set up. It's outside the scope of your promised retainer, but by doing it, you help them, you help you, because it helps your job too. They feel really good about using an agency because you're just over delivering. You're going outside of your scope, but selfishly, it helps you get better results. You're not doing things for them that doesn't help your results. This isn't charity. This is going outside the scope of your promised work just to give them a better chance of succeeding with the work you're doing. So this goes a long way. And I'm not saying to really spend loads of money or loads of resources fixing stuff. If there's small stuff you could do, this increases loyalty big time. So consider this too. The next one would be to own more channels. So a great way to decrease churn, and I've seen this firsthand, is if you've got control of multiple channels. It's hard to get rid of someone who controls both PPC, SEO, social. They've got their hands in every channel. They know the channels inside out. If one isn't doing so well, there's a good chance another one might be doing okay. There's a good chance one of them might be exceeding. So it gets decentralized, and the kind of focus gets decentralized, but also the ownership and the control is increased, which means clients will have a hard time kind of like wanting to get rid of you or even considering, because it's such a big job to get rid of someone that controls all of the marketing. So this is why it's a good thing to, if you can, or if you have got the capacity, to own other parts of their marketing or own other parts of whatever it is they do. If you're doing search for them and you do PPC, try and get their PPC contract. Try and get their social contract. Try and get their content contract. Whatever it might be, try and get their design contract. Having ownership of all these channels gets stickier clients, but it also gets you better results, because when you own more channels, they can synergize better rather than speaking to different agencies or different teams. When one team owns all of the channels, they synergize a lot better. So the next one is to reward loyalty. So this goes a long way. Not many agencies do it. After 3 months of them being a client of yours, send them a coffee or a round of coffee for the team, a round of beers if you want to be a bit cheeky. Do this with just cash, or do this with a voucher, Starbucks. If you could brand the voucher, that's even cooler. 12 months, you can send the CEO an iPad or the marketing manager an iPad, swag, team gifts. Go big on it. Don't just send a box of chocolates. Send something cool that they feel really, wow, this agency really likes us as a client, And this ties in quite well with the next one. And this one, I think, is an essential one. Just touch points. So even though you're doing the monthly reporting or the quarterly reporting, whatever the cadence is, I think you should have touch points where you don't have necessarily your account manager reach out, but someone else on your team, like a client success or retention manager or something like that goes out and asks the client, is everything okay? Is everything good? How can we improve? Do this 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. This kind of ties in with loyalty, kind of ties in with one of the second points here would make it personal, especially in the early days. But I think this is something that should be done forever. So like having these touch points throughout, speaking to the client, really easy to do, no excuse not to do it. I think it's an essential one to do and add into your retention strategy. The next one here is live in the future. So this is a bit of an ambiguous one, but I added this quite late into thinking about these concepts. And it's something that's quite important, especially today's day and age with AI and advancements in technology. Tech is moving a lot faster than it ever has done before. AI is crazy. Your clients are going to be thinking, I need to be doing something with AI. I need to be doing something with this. What's happening to SEO? What's happening to our dev team? What's happening to design? What's happening to paid search? You need to know all these answers. You need to know them now. And you can't ever let your client ask you about this. You need to tell your client about this. So if there's something like an advance with AI to do with SEO, link building or paid ads or whatever it is, book in a meeting with your client or send them a Loom and just say, here's the info on what's going on. You know, you might have seen this in the news. You might have seen this on LinkedIn. You might have seen people talking about this. Here's the info. Do you need to worry about it? What do we need to do? Blah, 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 blah. Send them the info. Show them you're on top of all of this stuff. Don't let them come to you and ask questions, because then that makes them nervous. Even if you've got the answers, like they've had to ask you for this. So always live in the future and always be proactive in telling your clients all of this stuff. So yeah, there's 9 ways to stop your agency from failing, from stopping client churn. Do 3 of these 9 and you'll reduce your churn, I promise. Do 4, do 5, you'll reduce it even more. And yeah, hope you like the video. I'll see you on the next one.